Here we are with another edition of I'm No Expert. We're here to talk about Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor, the third one, the trilogy, the rubber match, the tiebreaker. Who doesn't love a tiebreaker? They are 1-1. Conor obviously winning the first one by KO. Dustin winning the second one also by KO stoppage. This is the one to settle it all. Now, as I said in my preview for the last fight, that when Conor beat Dustin the first time they faced each other way back in late 2014, I believe, I mean, their careers were not on the same trajectory. That's when Conor was just emerging, about to emerge as a superstar that we all know he became. Dustin didn't quite get there until recently, actually, not even until he just beat Conor McGregor, but he had put on an impressive string of victories leading up to the fight with Conor. And now he's got the attention, he's got the win, he's going to get more money for this fight. So he's trying to position his life to be better based on the earnings that he can now gain after his defeat of Conor McGregor. Now, should he win this fight, that's going to put him in an even better position. He'll fight for the title, and he can secure his family's future financially. Conor McGregor, we obviously know, is one of the wealthiest UFC fighters. He dresses in the nice suits, custom. He's got his whiskey business. He's a businessman. He's a personality. He's not just an MMA fighter. Dustin Poirier doesn't have that. He's still just an MMA fighter. He doesn't have the personality that goes beyond the MMA, the octagon. So he's still kind of relatively unknown, whereas Conor McGregor is known even to people that don't follow MMA. So what do I think is going to happen in the fight? I don't always make the best predictions, but I believe that based on the timing of their two fights, that what happened in the last fight earlier this year, Dustin Poirier winning, is more in line with how this third fight is going to go than what happened way back when Conor won. Because that was so long ago, and they've both evolved. They've both gotten better. But I believe that Dustin's improvement is been greater since that loss to Conor than Conor's improvement has been since that defeat over Dustin. But I mean, maybe this defeat brought him back down to earth. I mean, he's been beaten before, but he lost to Khabib, and that brought him back down to earth a little bit. But he hasn't been that active, as we discussed last time. But so he's fighting again. He wants that rematch. I think getting beat that way to a man that he had previously defeated kind of brought him back down to earth and reignited that hunger within him. So I'm interested to see how Conor McGregor reacts and responds. The way Dustin was able to gain the advantage in the last fight, as we all know, was that calf kick. Now, he's not going to be able to just use that same technique this time around. Conor McGregor is going to adjust. He's going to be ready. He's going to be more well prepared to check that kick, evade that kick. If Poirier even tries to use it as a weapon this time, I'm sure he'll probably test it out, but I'm sure he and his camp know that this is not something that we can just rely on. He's going to have to set it up another way. Now, the thing is that when they were exchanging punches, once Poirier got Conor hurt, and he just started unloading with the fusillade, with the tri-step take of meaty blows to Conor's face. Conor was trying to respond with his own punches, but he just couldn't keep up, and he got caught, he got clipped, he got dropped, he got stopped. So, I mean, I think Conor is going to do better this time. I mean, he can still win. He's still always going to be a dangerous opponent. But I think Poirier is just, right now, even though they're the same age, even though they've got very similar records, I think right now Poirier, especially coming off the win so recently, is in a better position to win this third and final match. He'll go on to fight for the title. Conor McGregor, based on his status, based on his name, based just on who he is and what he's done for the UFC and what he's done for Dana White in helping the organization explode over the course of the last 5-6 years, he's still going to be in positions for some very lucrative fights. But will he be in position to fight for a title again? I mean, if he loses this fight, there'll be no shame. If either man loses, there will be no shame. They're both great fighters in their division and overall. But I still think Poirier is who he is as he was in the last fight, meaning like what happened in the last fight is more indicative of what's going to happen in the third fight than what happened in the first fight, if that makes sense to you. So I'm going to say Poirier is going to get him out there in the third round this time. Conor's going to be, a little bit more savvy about protecting himself from that calf kick, but I just think right now Poirier is in a better place as far as being a fighter. And McGregor, he's already proven a lot. And even though I think he got some of that hunger back after losing, I don't know if he's still going to be as hungry as Poirier, who hasn't made as much money and who still has more to prove in the world of MMA overall, as far as being a star, being a big draw, and just being a household name. So I don't know. You tell me what you think down in the comments. Like I said, I'm no expert. I just call it how I see it, and we'll see how it goes later on tonight. You know.